much cheaper, much efficient, and you can have it anytime you want. So these are the kind of things you bring one after another. Not that we have tried out everything yet. So I said, if you all join together, there's many more exciting things to come. That's the future for us. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The next question is coming from Mrs. Cochuango Yawoski, who is the IOC member in the Philippines.
Thank you, Mr. President. Hello, Professor Yunus. Thank you for being with us today. I will try to be precise, but it's making me nervous to think how to be precise. The actual question is short, but there's some explanation. In 2009, the corruption level in our country was extremely oppressive, and it was very difficult to see that there were more people who were complaining rather than trying to think of how they could be part of the solution. And I was part of a group that felt very politically helpless and disconnected, and none of us were business people. We had no idea how to run a business, and we knew that we couldn't go into the communities to try to teach business because we can't teach what we don't know. But we felt very strongly that the problem we were facing was commercialism and materialism. It was changing the values of society and priorities and human relations. So we had this idea and put together a group whose name translated means, "What is your stake?" And we decided that we would turn the skill into the currency in the communities, meaning that if you're a carpenter or a doctor or a plumber, a teacher or a sports coach, you would be offering your services in exchange for the services of someone else. And we wanted to do this to show to people that we are interdependent and we are accountable to each other, because as human beings, we are meant to be connected, but greed makes us unknowingly take things away from each other without even knowing it, and destroy trust and relationships, and no money to go around anyway. So in 2009, we started this group. We were detoured in 2010 because we were all suddenly called to a different mission, but now we have been talking about reviving this. And my question is that, do you think this is naive? Do you think this is something that could grow into a giant tree? Or is this something that would not be sustainable in the long run? Thank you, Professor Yunus.
Thank you. The answer is yes, of course. Again, the design at the early stage is the most important part. If you're designing as a social business, you have to have certain characteristics in it. Everybody understands that this is a business. If people get the idea this is a charity work, it's very difficult to turn it around into business, because the mentality of the charity work is very different. No, I'm not saying it's wrong. This is appropriate for that work. But for business, it has to be appropriate for the business thing. That I have to, at the end of the year, I have to look at my book, see how much money I have earned, how much money I spent. And is there a deficit? Is there a surplus? If in the year one there's a big deficit, that's fine. All businesses have that. But in the second year, is this deficit becoming smaller? That's the test. In the third year, if the deficit becomes still smaller, then you're on the right path. Someday, your earning and the expenses and earning will be even. So you come to the break-even point. And from then on, one will cross the other. And that's like you have entered the real business world. But every business has to go through this. Are your people clearly understand this point? Measure everything they do in terms of money, that this is the money we get. In the beginning, you do things to promote. It's possible. But your goal has to be very clear. So once they understand what your goal is, that has to be in their mind, everybody's mind. I have to save every penny that I can. I have to serve the people and get paid for it. And that's a very important part of it. So this is how it should be done. Once you design the first one, the little one, right, then the rest is replication. Repeating the same thing that you have done over and over again. In the repetitive process, you learn from each experience and make it more efficient. And ultimately, you see you have done it not only within your country, it is spilling over everywhere, because your solution is not a local solution. Your solution is a global solution. As I said, problems, what you face, problem anybody else faces is the same. Simply, it's in a different color and a different context, that's all. Otherwise, the essential part of it is the same thing. So when you find a solution, immediately the whole world will be coming at your door to see how you have done that. Thank you.